Hi folks, this video is to show you how to do playback and export of video on your NVR from H&B Security Center. First thing you're going to do is make sure your mouse is working, and you're going to right click the mouse on your screen, anywhere on the screen, and then you're going to draw your login pattern. Yours will likely be different than this, but you drag along, and when you finish the pattern you then let go of the mouse. Now when you get to this screen, you click on the home icon at the top left of the screen, and then you will click on playback. Once you're on playback, you're going to pick the camera that you want, or you could pick more than one camera if you like. For this sake, I will pick two different cameras. You're going to go down to the calendar at the bottom left and select what date you want to view. So for this case, I will pick the April the 9th, and then you can look at the timeline at the bottom with these colors, and this is the hours or minutes of the day along this timeline. And over on the bottom right here, you can decide whether you want that timeline to show 24 hours, like a whole day, from 12 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock at night. Or you can say, I want to reduce that to watch 2 hours or 20 minutes along this timeline. You're zeroing in on a tighter time frame that way for viewing. And for this purposes, I will I'm going to move it to up to 24 hours long. All these little lines on here show where there's been activity that's been recorded, and you can then slide with the mouse. You can slide this timeline along to get to whatever time you want to be looking at. So I'm sliding this along, and now I'm into the afternoon, and as long as there's something recorded, it will show up here. I can go fast forward here. I click in here. This is now twice speed, and then 4 times and 8 times and 16, 32, up to 64, or I can slow it down here this way. So we can do our viewing, we can play backwards, we can go to the beginning of the day, go to the end of the day. Once we have viewed to see if there's an incident that we want to keep and export, then we need to note what camera it is and the time and date that it is that we want to record a clip on. It's always best to keep those clips to as short a time as possible, because you're going to be exporting onto a memory stick, and you don't want to overload that, or try to record more than you can fit on that memory stick. Typically, you can expect at about 20 minutes of video will use up about 1 gigabyte of space on your memory stick. Just very rough figures. There's a lot of variables that will decide the exactness of that. Once you've decided your time, you're going to go to the scissors icon at the bottom, near the bottom left, where it says clip. You're going to clip on that, and then you're going to go to the clip time right beside it that popped up. And here you're going to decide the time and date of the video that you want to export onto the memory stick. So we'll pick our date here, we'll pick our start time, and we'll pick our end date and our end time. And once we have that worked out, we can move this time up or down. each of these time frames. We can move around, and once we get it to where we want, then we can click on export. And once you click on export, so actually before we click that export button, you want to make sure your memory stick is plugged in to your NVR into a USB port. There's a USB port on the front and one on the back. One of them is be used for your mouse, and the other one should be available to plug in your memory stick. And then once you did that, click that export, screen is now showing you the memory stick that's in there and what's already on that memory stick. So you can scroll, if you've got other stuff on it. Let's see, so you want to be careful that you're still going to have enough room for your video that you're recording. And if you want, you can create a new folder here, and you can type in a name. You have to use the keyboard on screen here. And then you click OK. I'll just click cancel. And at that point, I recommend you use the default backup type, and then you're going to click OK. And once you've clicked OK, then it will be recording it onto your memory stick. And that will take some time, depending on how much you're saving. Now, some memory sticks will flash while they're being recorded onto. I would suggest that you give it at least a minute or two, probably 2 minutes for every gigabyte that you're recording, or every 20 minutes of video that you're recording. Better to wait longer than shorter though. So once you have taken that video, you can pull out your memory stick and plug it into your computer. A good Windows media player doesn't play this type of video on most computers. There is a free video player that you can download from the internet. It's called VLC. So that's Victor, Larry, Charlie video player, and that one plays these videos very nicely. So that's a brief tutorial on how you can playback and export video.